Okay, back again. We're going to talk about paradigms. Really, really important stuff. People, that's from what I'm tracking, seem to find this stuff elusive for some reason or another. Probably because the times we live in and all of the entrainments, like what's happening to our thinking, that has been done to societies and populations. And we're talking about populations of Earth. In other words, the population within the nation run by the rulers and the leaders and the kings and queens and all that stuff, going back into history, okay? So, paradigms, it's very important to tie the idea of paradigms to the four components because it's actually very deep to understand what goes on here, okay? So we have physiology, body, mind, consciousness. This one is critically important. Actually, three of them are critically important. Consciousness, spirit, also known as energy, and soul connection, or soul, also known as connectivity to the rest of everything else. These things are very important in the idea of paradigms. Because paradigms are an energy thing, it's an atmosphere thing. That's its primary influence, and it expands out from there into the material world, into the world we live in. Let's say your family has one paradigm. Let's say your family has a dog. We'll call him Fluffy, for lack of a better name, or for this analogy rather. So the paradigm in your house with your kids is Fluffy is part of this family. Fluffy is the dog. Fluffy either lives in the house or lives outside, but Fluffy's part of the paradigm of this place. All things, all decisions, everything that has anything to do with how everything goes in this place takes Fluffy into consideration. Fluffy has to be fed, Fluffy has to be watered, Fluffy has to be taken care of, because we don't want Fluffy to croak. Okay? So that's one paradigm. Let's say the neighbor right down the street not only doesn't have a Fluffy of their very own, but their family has no pets whatsoever. And it's a different paradigm. It's a paradigm without Fluffy in it. There's no pets. There's no dogs, goats, sheep. There's no anything like that. It's just, here's the family, no family pets. But maybe they have allergies or something like that. Who knows? Who knows why? Or maybe it's just preference. I don't prefer any pets. I don't prefer to have to deal with that on a regular basis. Who knows? But each one of these is its own paradigm. Okay? Hopefully, we're going to bring this analogy into the consciousness realm and the energy realm, because these are the two things where paradigms become so crucial. And let me tell you why. Because paradigms, in other words, the physics behind this stuff, the physics behind the paradigms, in other words, the consciousness and the energies, these are both part of physics, behind the paradigms have been used against the populations. In other words, the regular old people, the people as in we the people, for a long time. This is not cool for the people. But the people don't know how important this is and what this is, and like, okay, we can get a hold of this. And we can shift these paradigms to our benefit because they've been used against us, they've been hijacked, they have been used upon us for many centuries now. Because the rulers, and we'll call them the ruling class, have an understanding of how this stuff works. That's what the media is about. That's what the old newspapers were about. Way back a long time ago. Now we're talking Europe, but the same thing applies not just in Europe. It also applies in the Middle East today or whatever part of the world you live in. That's what the bad side, the downside, the dark side of religion was about. Creating paradigms to keep the people behaving a certain way. Now, paradigms, very important stuff here. And I'm making it as simple as I possibly can. So if I seem to be talking rather simply, I'm apologies, but I want people just to get a handle on this. And we're going to expand as time goes on. We're going to expand on it because it's incredibly profound, quite frankly. Okay, we'll probably go into consciousness experiments to affect paradigms. But for now, we're going to stay with the simple, the easy, so we can grasp what this is. Because I don't know why it seems elusive to too many people. I'm not really quite sure why that is. I just don't understand it. But, which is why I'm explaining it in this way. The paradigms have been hijacked because it is a lot of power. Getting you to create paradigms, not for your benefit, not for your, this is a better life, this is acquiring more stuff, this is a better deal for my family, this is a better society we live in, this is a better way of existence. No. It's the other side of, and this is the worst of it, okay? No, you're going to be enslaved, you are enslaved, and you are just apply any label you would like. You're just one of those, so shut the hell up and ooh, that's a slap across the face. Okay? Get the meaning. Take any meaning you want to derive out of that, okay? Just to get to the point. Now, the paradigms are tied to free will. Free will is huge, massive. Free will isn't just, okay, here's my thinking. No. Free will is also tied to the spirit component, which is the energy component. Really important stuff, okay? And if I ever go into making sort of tearing open the book of John and talking about religion, like what is at its core, I'm kind of scared to do that because I don't want to rock people's boats. They might wig out and just take him out and burn him. I've seen too many movies like that, okay? Seriously speaking, though, the consciousness and the spirit component, all of this is physics, by the way. But there is deep intrinsic things that have been going on surrounding these things. These are core understandings of what's been going on this planet, how we've been hijacked by paradigms. At this time, it is crucial, it is important, it is so very incredibly important that we at the very least, okay? At the very least, even if you don't want to participate, pardon me, I'm sorry. at the very least, at least understand, hey, here's what a paradigm is. Hey, here's how a paradigm is made. Hey, here's how I participate. Hey, there's nothing I can do about this. Hey, this is a law of being a 4-component human. Well, let me tell you the law. The law is this. The second you're born, and the more you grow, and the more your 4 components come into play, in other words, you're a child at home, you don't have a lot of power, blah, 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 blah. But when you get grown, you start to have power and you start to have influence, and you start to create your world, your family, your paradigms, your how do I want my bedroom to be? That's a paradigm. As opposed to the rest of the house. That's a paradigm. How do I want my house to be as opposed to all these other houses? That's a paradigm. How do I want my neighborhood to be as opposed to all these other neighborhoods? That's a paradigm. How do I want my township to be as opposed to all these other townships? That's a paradigm. How do I want my city to be as opposed to all these other cities? That's a paradigm. You see the idea? You see it? Because it's very important. Now, when paradigms have been used against us, they've been using the laws of free will to capture us. And we willingly have to go along with it. And the people using this, they have been using this for thousands of years. Okay? This isn't some brand new thing. This is some very old thing. They understand this is how it works here on this planet. They totally get that. We don't get that, but they totally get it. So, they've been using this to get our free will to go along with, in this case, is insane chicanery, especially nowadays. I could list all the stuff for you, but I think everybody knows. Look, the world has tilted, and we're not exactly running around with the most sane ideas in the land of what is allegedly, land of freedom. I don't know how real that is anymore, but the reason it isn't real anymore is because of paradigm shifts. The reason they do all this stuff is because of paradigm shifts. The reason they lie to us on the media and et cetera, is because of paradigm shifts. Excuse me. And all the shifting they've done is in the negative deal to gain more and more and more power and take away more and more and more power by us using our free will to just give it away. Go along, give it away because it's ours. We want it. We claim it. It's ours. 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 Okay. Unfortunately, just another lie. Okay? The peace of God inside of you mandates that your power is yours. Okay? If you want to give it away by hook or by crook, you're allowed to give it away. That's free will. You want to follow along with a bunch of idiot nonsense, deranging your patterns of thought, like derangement. Like here's reality. And then derangements like jumbling all of this up. Arrange, derange. Okay? You're allowed to. As a matter of fact, that's how the law is set up. So understanding paradigms is a huge, huge thing. I wish you would, when you come to the site, I wish you would listen to the audios on paradigms and try and understand them. It's laid out in long form, okay? I'm going to lay it out a lot more in long form as we go on because it's really crucially important. Okay, this is the intro to that. This is the first video to that. So we'll leave that there. Thank you very much. I'll see you in the next one.